the bat here. And it involves the Opster. The Opster. I pretty much buried everything with Opie. I got no big problems with him or anything. We went through a phase there about 10 years ago or so, where a lot of the shit was said back and forth and whatever, and whatever it is. I don't disagree with what I said. I'm not backpedaling on anything. It's been said. What? It's just been said, and there's not much more to be said about that situation. I was fired. I felt I didn't get the backup. I got your back, partner of 20 years on the air. I felt I didn't get that, and some animosity. But some things come up sometimes that I just want to address, and it's fucked up because I'm literally going to give him traffic here. I'm literally going to give him traffic. The gun thing I posted from yesterday's show on YouTube, it's already got like almost 17,000 views in less than a day. I'm very happy with numbers like that. A lot of these videos I get go up to 60,000 views. For me, that's great. Very happy with that. Some of them even more. And, Opie shows 1,000 maybe after 6 months. And I'm not saying that to talk shit about him. I'm really not. We've done that already. I get it. What I'm saying is like whatever he's saying about me on his show really isn't reaching that many people. So I probably should just say nothing and leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. But I feel compelled to talk about this because it involves me and Jimmy as my friend. It isn't even like a business thing. If it was just him going, oh, God, those two on a show, it suck, fuck it, I wouldn't even acknowledge it. But in this one, he tries to downplay the friendship part of mine and Jim Norton's relationship over the course of the years. And it's just not true. I don't know who he's trying to sell this to. I don't know why he feels compelled to tell people that me and Jimmy aren't friends. That's a little odd to come out with that when he's one of my closest friends. So I don't know, but here's a video from his show. This is Opie talking about it. He got a super chat for $20, so he's got to talk about it. And here it is.
Ballers. It's crazy that Jimmy's star has dimmed so much that he has to let Cumia on his show. Even when he did, it stunk. Chad Zumock is kind of a Jimmy ball washer. He won't call Jimmy out for hanging with Cumia. F you, Chad. Oh, damn. I've known Chad Zumock to be someone that calls out everybody. No, Jimmy makes believe he's friends with Anthony. He makes believe. Jimmy knows how to play this game way better than I do. He makes believe he's friends with Anthony, and what that means is every once in a while, he'll do a little something with Anthony, so the fan base is like, oh, they're still friends. Oh, okay, all right, but you'll never see really any pictures of them hanging out ever. I mean, ever. Jimmy is the worst. Jimmy truly is the worst. He knows how to play, you idiots, and I say you idiots because you bought into it. Jimmy's like, oh my God, if I lose Anthony, oh my God, I'm not going to be playing the big rooms anymore. So he does this whole fake crap thing that they're friends, and they do a thing every once in a while, and then the base of the old Opie and Anthony show go, oh, see, they're friends, see. But if you're paying attention, you realize they're not really. I guess technically they're friends, but they don't hang out at all. Or very seldomly. You do sound like a liberal, though. All right. I don't know what to tell you.
See, I have to address that. There's a few angles here that I want to cover. First of which is, no, I am dear friends with Jim Norton. And all I've ever gotten from Jimmy is that it's exactly the same. He is a dear friend of mine. I am a dear friend of his. We communicate constantly. I don't know if Opie understands, but when you get older and you still are working and you have a career and you've moved, I moved to South Carolina, maybe you don't see each other as much. Maybe you're not hanging out as much. But the communication and the friendship are still there, 100%. Here's another thing. And this just kind of shows how what a lack of understanding Opie has about friendship. Like, he doesn't understand what really being friends with somebody means. Yes, me and Jimmy hang out. We've gone places. We've hung out dinner. I go to his house, his apartment. Friends don't sit there and take pictures with each other. They don't, very occasionally. And if you're doing something like I did his podcast a couple of weeks ago when I was up in New York, and we took a picture in the studio, me, Jimmy, and Nikki. And you take pictures like that because it's part of a gig thing. It's, but if I hang out with Jimmy and we go out to dinner, we don't go, hey, dude, just take a picture. Friends don't do that. Oh, my God. He doesn't understand what friendship is. Jimmy took time to visit me when I was up in New York in the hospital. Twice. He came by to sit and talk and laugh and whatnot, to visit me. There are people that I considered friends and still I consider, friendly, that didn't come into the hospital. And that isn't a prerequisite for friendship, but it does show somebody that does care about somebody, a friend. There are pictures. We've occasionally taken pictures when we were out just hanging out. I had pictures on his balcony in his apartment. When I hung out with him and Nikki, they invited me over for dinner. I honestly don't feel I have to explain this to people. I don't feel that I'm doing this to explain to people that know that me and Jimmy are friends and hang out. And, when we get on a show together, it's blatantly obvious that we take up exactly where we left off as friends and as fun people that know we can do a show together and be funny and entertaining and enjoy each other's company. So I don't feel I have to explain it, but just that he said it like that, I felt I had to address that that is just not at all true. He talks about friends. He kissed Bill Burr's ass on one of his shows for his SNL appearance, his SNL monologue. And then he's talking about how Bill Burr's wife, people say his wife has something to do with, his act and what. That is not true, in his inimitable style. And it is true. It is true. But he considers Bill a friend. He goes, I told Bill, I texted him and said that his SNL thing was great. And he got back to me. Hey, thanks. Now, Opie thinks Bill is his friend. If he went to a gig or something or saw Bill on the streets of New York, he would get a picture and he'd post the picture. Here's me and my friend Bill. And Bill isn't Opie's friend. If Bill was Opie's friend, he'd do Opie's show. out of friendship. But he knows it's not getting him one iota of publicity or advancing his career any. So Bill won't do Opie's show. He might now just to get back at me, but now Bill won't do Opie's show because he's not his friend. It was a business arrangement. And the same thing with Jimmy and Opie. Like, I'm sure they had something close to a friendship at some point that resembled a friendship, perhaps. But that was a very business relationship. The Opie and Anthony show, Jim Norton is the third mic, and it went that way for quite a few very successful years. And then once I was given the heave-ho, it became very obvious that these two were not friends, that it was a business relationship that couldn't even stand up to the fact that they weren't very fond of each other, you know? I was a great diplomat, I'll tell you that much. A great diplomat. I knew exactly what to do and say in certain circumstances to keep that fucking train a-rolling. So, you know, Opie has just a misunderstanding as to what friendship is. I don't know what it is. He's always kind of put himself a level above people. He's kind of looked down his nose at a lot of people. They didn't want to be his friend. And he did the same thing, you know, that Bill does. That once somebody is no use to you anymore, you get rid of them. You may have called them friend, but that's not a friend. You don't just get rid of a friend. So, you know, him saying what friendship is and trying to judge the friendship between myself and Jim Norton is absolutely insane. It's fucking insane. And it's absolutely untrue. I love Jimmy. He's like a brother to me, and I could never see that changing, regardless of any circumstance. So, yeah, I needed to take care of that. So if you want to see his entire show, there it was. You know, there's a link. You could, I don't know if you'd want to watch that. How the fuck does he get up so early? I swear to you, it looks like he's doing a show in the middle of the night sometimes. He'll be like, morning, cheers, everyone, morning. And it's pitch black out. Good morning, got my coffee, got my doggy. And it's nighttime. It's pitch black nighttime. What are you doing? You could sleep till noon. Take it from me. Anyway, every so often he'll say something or do something that I feel compelled to address. I try to stay away from it. I mean, you know, there's plenty of instances I could pop on and critique things, but like I said, I don't even want to deal with that anymore. But, you know, this isn't just getting on to bash Opie. This is him downplaying and trying to shit on a friendship between myself and a good friend of mine, Jim Norton. So I felt I had to say something. Anyway, there you go. How about that? How about that? This famous story.
Okay, so Cumia, once again, trashing Bill Burr. I mean, he framed it as an Opie bashing, as he wanted to address Opie talking about, you know, Anthony and Jim Norton's friendship. And then it ended up just turning into a Bill Burr smashing and saying Bill Burr's wife basically has to approve his act, and his act is influenced by his wife now. That's how much Cumia hates Bill Burr. Even now, when he's trashing Opie, it ends back up on Bill Burr. But well, I can answer this for Ant why Opie is up so early. He has kids, and trust me, as someone with kids, they force you to be up early. It is annoying, but there's that. Bill Burr did technically do Opie's show when Opie had that god awful show on Westwood One. Remember, I think his one and only guest was Bill Burr, and no one watched it. It was pathetic, but Bill Burr is not gonna pop up on Opie's live stream. I 100% agree with that. I will say this as in regards to Cumia and Jim Norton's relationship. It's not that they're not friends. You know what I find weird? The fact that Jim Norton sort of became like the head guy of the Jim and Sam show, meaning he makes the most money and everything. Some people would say rightfully so. I always thought it was weird for Sam to take less money than Jim Norton when his name is in the title of the show, but whatever. But he can't get Cumia on that show, not even for like a call-in. But so like people used to give Opie crap right after Cumia got fired about not like having Cumia call in and be like, Opie's keeping Cumia from appearing on the show. But hasn't Jim Norton been doing that for God knows how long with the Jim and Sam show? I mean, there was a little bit when Opie first got fired when they had Cumia, but then Cumia got canceled for something else again. But I just always found that weird. But they are probably still friends. They just hardly ever see each other. But a weird thing that it just turned back into a Bill Burr bashing. Cumia is still seething about Club Soda Kenny kicking him out of the comedy. He's still seething about it. But, I mean, the fact that 2 rants in a row, 2 days in a row, one about Bill Burr, the other about Opie, that turned into a Bill Burr bashing. Pretty funny. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.